Plenty of changes for Cork today. In goal, it's Ryan Price in for Ken O'Halloran. Owen Cadigan replaces Kevin Crowley in defence. Colm O'Driscoll and John O'Rourke start, along with Barry O'Driscoll and Donncha O'Connor, who come into the full forward line. Mayo have two changes to the side that overcame Clare in the last round. Tom Parsons replaces Donald Vaughan in midfield. He's recovered from a flu bug. Jason Doherty wears number 22, and he's in at corner forward for Conor Loftus. Aidan Walsh picks out on Cadigan, fully restored to the Cork back line. Mark Collins goes for Donncha O'Connor, turns and spins onto his left boot, and he scores. Lovely score as well by O'Connor, the first from play, and Cork now lead by 3 points to 1. Now Captain Killian O'Connor into Andy Moran, holding off the attentions of Sean Powter. Back to Tom Parsons. Here's Aidan O'Shea to Lee Keegan, just outside the 45-metre line, and a nice score from distance from Lee Keegan. Puts a point between the sides. Nice score with the right boot. Lee Keegan, Andy Moran. Plenty of close marking by the Cork defenders. Moran still has the ball, looking for support, gets it from Aidan O'Shea. O'Shea trying to burst his way through. Back to Moran again. And 2 points between the sides. Moran's first point of the game. Nice pass by O'Shea. Plenty of time and space for Moran. Dermot O'Connor. Down the line to Moran. Back to O'Connor. That left touchline goes for the long ball to Jason Doherty. Doherty. 2 points between the sides again. Intelligent ball to Doherty, and he did the needful. Deep in injury time now. There's Kevin McLaughlin. Into his full forward, Killian O'Connor. O'Connor, he shapes to go with the right. Goes back to the left. Beautiful score. 3 points between the sides now. It really was a fine point, wasn't it? O'Connor shaping to hit it with the right there, then tricked them all by switching to his left. Tom Parsons, 3 unanswered points at the start of the second half now. Mayo starting to pull away. There's the sub, Paddy Durkin. Durkin shrugs off the high challenge. And double scores now. 12 minutes gone, second half. And that's scored by Paddy Durkin. And Cork up the ante with those 3 unanswered points in the last few minutes. John O'Rourke. Ian Maguire. Maguire, chance to go for the point. Instead, he goes inside to Colm O'Neill. And O'Neill puts 3 between the sides. Well, Maguire himself could have gone for the point, but decided to go to his left to pick out O'Neill, and with his left boot, he put it over the bar. Sean Powter. Jason Doherty for company. Indeed, Doherty's robbed him. Played it back to Killian O'Connor. Forward to Aidan O'Shea. O'Shea playing in his 100th game for Mayo in league and championship. Pops it over the bar. And Mayo's lead out to 5 points again. Powter dispossessed by Doherty. He played it back to O'Connor, and in the end it was O'Shea with the point. Cadigan. There's Paul Kerrigan. Nice little flick ball. And here's Powter. Powter steaming forward. Powter going all alone, and what a goal! Sean Powter may have injected life into Cork yet. Good exchange of passes between himself and Sean White. And what about that for a finish low into the bottom corner? Kevin McLaughlin. There's the point between the sides now. Killian O'Connor. And O'Connor puts the lead out to 2 again. 28 minutes gone in the second half. What a seesaw battle we have here now. Stephen Cronin looking for the ball. Here he is. Forward to Luke Connolly. And Luke Connolly gets the ball again. Chance for Luke Connolly! And they're level! What a comeback by Cork. 7 points down at one stage. They're level, courtesy of that goal by Luke Connolly. That's a remarkable finish to this game. Can Mayo get the winning score in the last couple of seconds? They'll have a chance now with the substitute, Paddy Durkin. And he's put them back in front again. 21 points to 2-14. And the Mayo supporters celebrate. Beautiful score from distance from Paddy Durkin. Deep in injury time. Almost 7 minutes on the clock now. Mayo just need to keep possession. Oh, that's a mistake by Stephen Cohen. And a foul on Sean Powter. Well, the referee is moving the ball forward because Mark Collins wasn't allowed to get back up on his feet. So it's much closer in now. So it's a long way out for Luke Connolly. It's dropping, it's over. And we're possibly heading for extra time now. What a magnificent score. Ross Clancy. Clancy gets by O'Shea. As he's shaping for the shot there, he's given it to his captain Paul Kerrigan. And Cork, would you believe, are in front. The first score of extra time by the Cork captain. Remarkable. Mayo leading by 7 points at one stage in this game, and now trailing by 1. There's Tom Parsons. He lost control of the ball momentarily. Conor Loftus with a chance to level things up, and that's what he's done. Now, Parsons initially lost control of the ball, but Loftus was there in support and popped it over the bar. Stephen Cronin. A bit of a loose ball, but it was Colm O'Neill to go galloping out to that far side to collect it. Colm O'Neill, beautiful score from out on that left-hand touchline. And just a point in it now after Keith Higgins' score moments ago. Here's Paddy Durkin. Now to Dermot O'Connor. It's sneaked in. Incredible stuff from Dermot O'Connor. So can Mayo hang on to this 2-point lead and reach their 7th successive All-Ireland quarter-final? And that's a point for Cork from substitute Michael Hurley. Perhaps need a goal, but Hurley popped it over the bar. 3 minutes of added time is almost up. Well, there goes the final whistle now. Slightly early from our referee, Kieran Bradigan, but it's Mayo who are through by a single point. Devastation for Cork. And one or two of the Cork players questioning the referee as he's escorted off the pitch. Cork, though, are out, and it's Mayo who advance to the last 8 of the All-Ireland series. Some game. Went to extra time. Mayo through 27 points to 220.
We always knew that they were going to ask questions of us, and you know, at times we felt that we delivered answers, but you know, we conceded 2 poor goals at a time when really we should have been closing out the game, and but thankfully we have opportunity now to look at that over the next few days and try and rectify it for next weekend.
It's down to the players, and they have put in the performance. It's great credit due to the players. You know, we just facilitate and we do everything we can for them, but everyone of them out there today, they went down into the gut and they got a performance.
The wind has been at your face for the last while. Yeah. It was at your back today. Will you be part of this revival with Cork in 2018?
My term is up, and I have to go into the dressing room now and talk to the players before I do anything.
Yeah, well, Padder Healy did announce afterwards that he was stepping down as Cork manager. We congratulate Mayo through again to yet another quarter-final. But, Tomas, you had been talking up these young Cork lads through this year, and they did come good.
They did, Des. I suppose it was a little too late for them. I thought another classic with Mayo involved. The last time they were in Limerick, they had extra time as well against Kerry. I thought Mayo, look, halfway through that second half, they were coasting, 7 points up. You'd think, out the gap. They emptied the bench. I think Cork hit a purple patch, hit 3 points, hit a goal, came right back into it. I think Cork will wake up this morning and say, geez, that's a game we left behind us. I think a couple of refereeing decisions at the end, a couple of goal chances missed, a couple of point chances in the second half of extra time. It could have been a very, very different story. I think Mayo have come through a couple of tough games with Derry, extra time, Clare. They don't look like world beaters, but these games have to be helping Mayo going along. You know, I think their players are getting more confidence. This game, what will it do to them? I don't think anybody will be afraid to face Mayo, but they're still getting through the games, Des. And
in fairness, after another brilliant match involving Mayo, how a referee can blow the game up 30 seconds early whenever it's on a knife edge, and you can understand the great frustration. But for the neutral, a brilliant game. I mean, you're every emotion and very although a better game to the bitter end than the Derry game. I mean, Derry Mayo again, matchless entertainment for 70 minutes, and then Derry were too exhausted.
You're
really
becoming a Mayo fan, are you?
But well, I mean, look, for 8 years, what team has given us more entertainment? You know, really. I know they haven't won in All Ireland, but every game they've been in, I mean, it's been a nerve tingler. And you're sitting there and you're, every emotion. I mean, last year, there'd never been an own goal in an All Ireland final. All right. And then there are two in the space of 10 minutes.
Phenomenal. You look at the Mayo 15-1, and then the paltry effort by Cork above there, I think, was a disgrace to the Cork footballers. You know, you look at Mayo, and when they're down, their supporters are still after.
They got a standing ovation off the field against Derry. Yeah. A standing ovation off the field.
What about, so they're contenders, they're in there again.
I'm not sure that they are.
Are they not? Why
I don't
not?
think that
you were saying the full back. You don't think these high balls into full back.
I think there are too many problems. I think that also that Colin Cooper said an interesting thing to me. He said, whenever we were beaten in the All Ireland finals, he said we got off that train, we got the hell into the house, we got away because we were there was court martials all over the place. Mayo, each time they've lost in All Ireland, they've gone back to McHale Park, 40,000 people welcoming them there, and that's brilliant.
But that's just respect.
It is great. It is. It's a great respect. But in a way, I think that they've reached the stage now where they simply don't know how to win. They're not ruthless enough to win. I mean, you watch the Cork game.
Show us the defence that you're talking about. You're talking about this high ball.
Well, so you look yesterday, for example, a game they should have been coasting in, and here's how slack they are now. Their fullback plays very conservatively because he's concerned. He's just a nervous fullback, but he's the best that they have, and he's been there now for 4 or 5 years. Donoghue Connor, who was brought back as a 36-year-old to lead the line, he was picking up the ball in front of him, without any issues, popping the ball over the bar. I mean, he played extremely well, but in effect, he was unmarked. I mean, here's his second score. He got 5 points altogether. Again, he's not being marked. The fullback has dropped off him instead of being tight to him. Can you imagine that happening against the Dubs or against Kerry? And these long balls that were kicked in were very relieving for Cork. And don't forget, they were only kicking them into Donoghue O'Connor. Every time he was winning the ball out in front. Derry kicked in 2 high balls. 2 high balls in 90 minutes. The first one they kicked in was a goal. This is Kerry. Last kick of the game. Look, the fullback's effort. I mean, what fullback attacks a ball like that? I mean, a fullback has got to guard his square, and he's got to do whatever it takes in there. There's a plant move in the 2013 final. They isolate Bernard Brogan on Ger. The ball's kicked long by Flynn. He flicks it into the net. I mean, you imagine doing that against a fullback from Kerry or Philly McMahon or Colm Kavanagh sitting in there. I mean, you're getting your head taken off in there. And this is a major problem. And you can see already this is lining up. Kerry are playing Kieran Donoghue, who's been revitalised on the edge of the square. You know what's going to happen if Mayo, as I expect them to do, get past Roscommon.
Been tested yet.
They are Kerry people have been... You boys say this every
They
year.
haven't.
Oh, Kevin, Kerry haven't
been tested.
Yeah,
Tyrone haven't been
let's
tested.
stick with this
Dublin
game.
I
haven't been
appreciate that,
tested.
but what I'm saying is that the linchpin
Kerry
of
are
their...
next week, yeah.
Right, in 2014,
sharp.
in 2014, Kerry went to town on the edge of that square. That was their whole strategy. They went down to the Gaelic grounds and everything was kicked into the square, and it was absolute devastation. I think about 2-7 came off that. So it's clear that Kerry are lining up for that. And this is a big, big issue, and it's too late for Mayo to solve it, because if they'd been able to solve it, they would have had a full back in there.
They've tried playing a sweeper. I know that's not going to stop the high ball. You don't like their sweeper
The
system.
sweeper's all over. He's in the wrong position. The sweeper sweeps at the feet of the full forward. The sweeper's job is to prevent goals in here. Now you watch, Cork should have scored 5 goals yesterday. Between the 54th and the 70th minute, they scored 2-3. They should have scored 5-3. Now just watch this. How does he get that goal in there? I mean, yes, but he's not being tackled. He's not being hit. Here
Plenty of
again.
bodies
Now
back.
watch. Now look at the sweeper again. He runs to the ball. He runs to the ball. So now he's running towards his own goals, which a sweeper should never do. It was a terrible goal miss. That would have put Cork 3 up. Now, this is all in a very short space of time. Again, watch the sweeper. Again, he runs to the ball. He does exactly what he's not supposed to do. There it is. That should have been a goal. Terrible hand pass over his head. So instead of coming away with 5 goals, Cork came away with 2.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you this, Dublin or Kerry or Tyrone are not going to make those mistakes.
But
That ball's-
but
those
in
balls are going
contrast-
in the net.
The one thing, though, Joe, I would say there...
He needs
yes,
to drop back and play on the square.
Between the 50th and the 70th, they destroyed him. At that stage, I think it was a mistake by Stephen Rochford. He emptied his bench. He took off Seamus O'Shea. He took off Chris Barrett. Lee Keegan got a black card. Colin Boyle was taken off. He took off his whole
I didn't
half-back
think
line.
Seamus O'Shea was
I
having
don't
any impact
think-
on the game, I have to say.
I don't think Cork would have made the same inroads had their full... Like, that's most of their defence was gone.
There were 2
I
important...
think Rochford underestimated Cork at that stage. Halfway through the second half, he says, right, this game is over, 7 points up. Get our lads off.
But if you've been watching them, they've been
They're
very
tough shoulders,
but they've been very fidgety on the line. So, for
Yes.
example, the young fella from Cross Malina, they brought him in at the last minute against Derry.
Right.
Derry had the game won, and he scored 1-1.
Yeah.
And I mean, the team is fidgety. They're not sure who's coming on,
But
who's coming
they
off.
also going
There's no
forward
solidity with
are
them.
very impressive. I mean, they're still,
yeah.
they got big scores again yesterday, Tomas.
I still think they have an issue at midfield. Here, we have... David Clark was going short all day. Now, if you look at this, this is just a... I think if Mayo can sort out midfield, they're going short. Look at the effort it takes. This ends up in a score. I think Mayo were a lot more clinical yesterday. Look at the effort it takes for them to get a score here. OK, in the end, Andy Moore eventually kicks it over the bar. Right, we're going to the next one where he goes long. Kick out. Aidan O'Shea catches it. Parsons makes a burst. Quick ball, straight through. OK? Mayo yesterday struggled at midfield for so long. Clark was kicking out short ball all day. This was straight out over the bar. The one thing I will give Mayo yesterday, and we sliced them apart after the Derry game, was they were a lot more clinical. They hit 21 out of 24 chances yesterday. They had 10 different scorers. Something we always throw at Mayo is they don't have the forwards. If they can get midfield acting, and if they have their short kickouts, which is grand, and Joe, you said it a while ago, a team needs a long ball. A team that win in All-Ireland has to have 2 things in my mind. They have to be able to run the ball in case it is, like if you're playing a Tyrone, and the long ball has to be an option. Too many teams don't have a long ball. Yesterday, it was an option for Mayo, but I still think at midfield, Seamus O'Shea and Parsons are struggling.
We're out of time now,
At a critical phase of the game yesterday, Mayo kicked 4 long kickouts, and Cork won 3 of them. And then David Clark had to go back to kicking to the corner back. The problem with playing against a team like Tyrone, for example, is that they're now set up. You kick the ball. That's what they want you to do. You kick to the corner
I
back.
think
the risk
of kicking it long is you should take it.
Tomas, this can continue later, but we're nearly out of time. The Cork management issue now. Padder is gone. Your name is being mentioned, as is John Cleary's. Who needs to take this Cork team, and is there a future for Cork?
Look, Des, I think I've been saying it all year. There's players in Cork that are good enough to perform. They're not world beaters, but they're better than what they've been producing all year. Now, if you look at it, Páirc Uí Chaoimh, a huge stadium, right? The Cork County Board needs the Cork footballers going well. End of story. You have the Super 8s, like it or lump it, coming in next year. If Cork are in the Super 8s, you'd have like the Tyrone. Imagine Tyrone going to Páirc Uí Chaoimh for a result. The Dubs coming down to Páirc Uí Chaoimh. They need to get it right. Too often in Cork, it's who wants a job? Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it. No, that's not good enough. They actually need to nail. They need to get this one right. There is players.
Who is it?
I think Billy Morgan will be the man.
Absolutely.
I think you need somebody of his ilk. I mean, John Cleary's been mentioned. Ronan McCarthy's been mentioned. I think Stephen O'Brien would be a great choice. But Billy Morgan has what Cork need right now, and that's put a bit of stuff in them, get performance out of them. You know, they have their players, put a good management team. Not only is it important to have Billy Morgan, you need a team around him as well. But I think today, or yesterday, Cork proved that there is more than them. And people ask me, oh, sure, why did you expect them to perform against Kerry? Sure, that's if they perform like that against Kerry, they would have tested Kerry a lot more than they did. Do you know, so I do think they need to get that right.
There's no long-term strategy. That's the big problem. And if you put Billy Morgan in there, you get the immediate respect of everybody. He bridges all the generational gaps. He's a legendary figure. He's got the passion. He knows the game inside out. He's taken UCC. He's taken Nemo Rangers. He knows every footballer in the country. He'll command the respect of young and old, and it will give them that sort of stability to start with. But they need to start doing what Kerry have done, what Dublin have done. They need to start a 10-year strategy where everybody's playing the same brand of football. Look what Kerry have done, having picked this up 10 years ago. Kerry were lagging behind so badly at underage level. They put together a long-term strategy, and look what's happening now.
I hate to curb this enthusiasm because it is great to have you, but we are pushed for time. And I want to thank you both very much. We've had some great debate tonight. We're going to continue it now with Camogie because we're going to check out